this is where I want to start. I want to talk about Tom Brady and kind of how bad the offense has been this year for the New England Patriots. His future is in question, whether or not he's going to stay with the Patriots and get the money he wants, or if he's going to leave and go somewhere else. And there's supposedly a fractured relationship between him and Bill Belichick, but Robert Kraft still loves Tom Brady. There's just a lot going on and a lot to unpack.
Okay,
I,
before we start, I just want to say it's crazy how you say, well, everyone's been saying how their offense has been really bad this year. Yet they're still, what are they, not 10-3, 11-3?
11-3.
So their offense must be doing pretty decent, but I know it's not up to standard in what they've been doing. But I just think it's crazy how everyone's saying that their offense has been not good, which I don't really. I don't want to say he doesn't have playmakers, but I also do want to say he doesn't have
He
playmakers
doesn't have
because
playmakers.
I mean he has a plethora of running backs who are all decent.
Is it plethora or plethora?
I don't know, something like that. He has a bunch of running backs, deep running back system, I should say,
It's probably the deepest running back system in the NFL.
and it's starting to show how big or how much he's missing Gronk. I think he doesn't really have that go-to
But
because every
here's
third
the
down
thing
he would
about
just throw it to Gronk.
Gronk though. Last year they won the Super Bowl last year, but he was largely irrelevant in the regular season. And then when it came to the playoffs, I mean he did show up in the playoffs when it mattered, but in the regular season, I mean it was really kind of the same story as it is this year. Not really having
Yeah,
a tight end to go to. You know what I
yeah, but
mean?
this year, what they have Benjamin Watson, I think, wasn't he suspended though?
He was
I couldn't
suspended, I
tell
think, like
you.
the first two games, but and then like cut twice and re-signed twice and whatever.
I couldn't tell you who their other running back or tight end is, to be honest. I mean, I know they have a couple. I mean, Mohamed Sanu. Ever since he came over, I don't really think he's done that much. And
He's
they gave
just a
up
slot
second
guy,
for him.
anyways. Really,
But the thing is, they gave up that second. But when they let him walk in free agency, I think they're going to get a third back from him. So I mean, I still think that was a smart move by the Patriots organization. But
yeah. I
I don't
mean, you
know.
needed somebody, but I think the offense has been bad. Now the wide receivers for the Patriots, they lead the league in drops,
Yeah.
so that clearly doesn't help Tom Brady's numbers. But also, he's not really putting them in great positions to catch footballs either. Like he's missing high, missing low. He's not as accurate
Yeah.
as he used to be.
I think
He's 42 years old. I mean, let's be
I think
honest
his
about it.
age is starting to show.
And that's why I don't think he can go anywhere else because number one, he's been there for his whole career, and number two, what other team is going to want to
Oh,
sacrifice?
somebody's
Like,
gonna want him
who's going to want
for
to take in
sure.
Tom Brady for a season or two? He wants to play 3 more years after this year.
Oh my
Who's going to?
lord.
He wants to play till he's
I would take
45.
him. I would take him in a heartbeat.
He takes one hit at 42 years old. You can say this about any player. Any player can be hurt off of one hit. But he's 42 years old. You're more susceptible to injury at that age. Doesn't matter how well you take care of your body. You
I
get
would
aches and pains, and
I'd take him in a
one hit,
heartbeat.
Tom Brady is done. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know exactly what you mean, but I would still take that risk. You surround him by a good offensive line, like
That's another thing too. Is he
I'm
doesn't
not
have a good
gonna go
offensive
into
line.
where I think he's gonna go. I have a couple of potential suitors,
Okay,
but and a couple of them
so
have some pretty solid O lines, but
well, then let's get right into our little game then that we're going to play. We're going to narrow down where Tom Brady is going to play next year, and it's kind of already been talked about that Tom Brady it seems like he wants to leave. He's already sold his house. I'm pretty sure that his trainer, I forget his name, something Guerrero or whatever,
Alex for
Alex Guerrero
I think
or
that's
Guerrera. He's
ugh.
It's Alex something. We know
I
that.
know it's. I'm pretty
I'm
sure it's.
pretty sure
I'll look it up.
I'm pretty sure he sold his house. I'm pretty sure Josh McDaniels wants to leave, who's the offensive coordinator. He wants to be a head coach somewhere,
Yeah, it's Alex.
but never
Alex
like
for.
really dives into it and does it. And I think all signs are pointing to Tom Brady leaving if the Patriots don't give him the money he wants because supposedly he wants 30 million plus next year and he is tired of taking pay cuts.
I
So he wants the
just.
money that he feel like he's lost over the last several years.
I
So
think it's like 75-25 that he leaves, meaning 75% he doesn't leave and 25 that he does.
okay.
I just don't see
I
him leaving.
I don't think I don't think Robert Kraft is going to let him leave. I think he will pay him whatever he wants at the expense of not taking care of the skill positions.
Oh yeah.
But uh this okay, so we're just going to jump right into the game then. So right now, we're going to determine where Tom Brady's going to play next season based on process of elimination. I'll go first because I just have this all mapped out. Really
Okay.
spent a lot of time on this today. And so right now at the start, we're going to eliminate teams that already have starting franchise quarterbacks, okay?
Hold on.
So
Let me pull up a list real quick.
so just so before I start, just stop me at any point if you
If
or
I
just let me know if you're following where I'm going with this as we
okay,
go.
I think I
So
knew what you're
so are you ready? Are you ready for me to eliminate
ready.
teams with starting
You
franchise
are.
quarterbacks? Just let me know when you're ready to
Yes, I'm
start.
ready.
You're ready? Okay. So the
I'm
teams
ready.
that I'm going to eliminate with starting franchise quarterbacks, this is no particular order. I'm not ranking them. I'm just going off the cuff here. Green Bay Packers with Aaron Rodgers,
Easy.
Carson Wentz with the Eagles,
Okay.
Dak Prescott with the Cowboys, although he is not currently
I
signed. He's not
I
currently signed.
have
Just hang
I've
on.
seen
Just
rumors. I
I
have seen rumors.
I
I don't want to
know.
say it's rumors, but I think it was on ESPN
But
or
is Dak a
maybe it was
franchise
FS1.
quarterback?
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
But it's just a matter of how much money he wants because he's not a $40 million quarterback. I don't even think he's a $30 million quarterback.
I think with the
But
way he's played this year, he is.
I don't know. He's putting up Big Ben numbers last year. And that's Big Ben didn't make the Pro Bowl. I've seen people complain about how Dak didn't make the Pro Bowl, but if you compare the numbers last, because I remember I looked this up, because Ben didn't make the playoff or the Pro Bowl last year. You look up the numbers. Ben threw, I believe, 33 touchdown passes to 16 interceptions. Dak has 26 to 11. Now I know 11, that's not that much. I mean, he might end up with like 13, but I think Dak's on his way to leading the league in passing yards, and so is
He's
Ben.
second. He's second currently right now behind Jameis Winston.
Okay, so he's second currently, but Ben led the league in passing yards last year. He was up there in touchdowns, but he also led the league in interceptions with 16. Now, when you compare that to Jameis Winston's, 23, 24 now, it doesn't
Yeah,
really seem that bad when you think about it. And he didn't make the Pro Bowl. But that being
16 is
said,
kind of low to lead the league in interceptions. I
I
think.
know that's what I was thinking. I think that was the whole reason why he didn't make the Pro Bowl last year. But I still think Dak will make it as an alternate when the Super Bowl comes around and someone I don't know who made the Pro Bowl for the
Quarterbacks, it was Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, um, and then I think
was it Drew?
I was gonna say Drew Brees, and then I don't know who the other AFC guy was. Probably uh,
It's not Garoppolo.
Deshaun
It's not,
Watson, maybe.
it was
I can't.
Mahomes. I don't think made it.
Yeah, he did. Why wouldn't Mahomes make the Pro Bowl? He's the best quarterback in football.
Okay, maybe you're right. Let me look this up. I have it. I looked at it yesterday for a split second. Looked at my Steelers players. And I think there was a one snub for sure, and that was our special teams.
Oh,
That was the special
geez,
teams. No,
relax.
it was Tyler Matakevich. Stupid.
Who's that?
He leads the league in special teams tackles,
Oh my
but
gosh.
the what's his name Slater from the Patriots made it with half the amount of tackles that Matakevich has. So he was snubbed there, I believe. And
Okay.
I don't know how Marquise Pouncey made the Pro Bowl, to be
Okay,
honest.
I think we're getting really far
Okay,
away
we're
from
off
where we're
topic.
going.
Yeah,
I think
let's
we're get,
go.
I don't think anybody cares about how many Steelers made the play or the Pro Bowl and who did and didn't make
Hey,
it
hey man. Okay,
besides
then go.
you.
I'm
Okay.
ready.
Okay, so we're kind of so we agree that Dak is kind of a wild card because we don't
Dak
know
is.
if he will get the money that he wants. But
I
we
think he
but
will,
we do
but
know that he is a starting quarterback. He is a franchise quarterback. So we're just gonna I'm putting him on my list because I think the Cowboys would be dumb not to sign him. Okay.
okay,
So is that fair?
that's fair.
Okay. Continuing with these other quarterbacks. Matt Ryan with the Falcons.
Fair,
Patrick Mahomes with the Chiefs. That's an obvious
of
one.
course.
Deshaun Watson with the Texans. That's pretty
Yep.
obvious. Ravens and Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
Seahawks and Russell Wilson.
Yep.
Steelers and Big Ben, because I think Big Ben, even though he's been hurt, I think he's still got 2 or 3 years left.
Yeah, I
He's
don't
still
know about
signed. He's
that.
still signed.
I know that's the whole reason. Do I think he's? I couldn't tell you. I don't know if he's gonna be starting caliber next year. If he's gonna be really that good,
I mean, I
but
would roll
yeah.
Big Ben over the other two you got on your
Oh,
depth chart.
I mean, God, I'd take anyone over those two. But
My
go on.
other
I agree with that.
my other one, this is a tough one too. It's Drew Brees with the Saints, but Drew Brees is like on 1 year deals with the Saints, but the Saints aren't going to let go of Drew Brees
They're
for
not
Tom
gonna let
Brady.
go of him. No,
So I'm putting him on this list
I
because
think Drew
he's
Brees is
with the
better than
way he's
Tom Brady at this
and
point.
oh yeah, he is. And but with the way he's playing, he can probably play. And he could actually probably play 5 more years if he wanted
Oh, for
to.
sure.
And then my last two teams that I'm eliminating are the Rams and the 49ers with Goff and
Yep.
Garoppolo.
I was waiting for you to say the 49ers. I'm like, you can say the
No,
49ers
I was
or
getting there. I was getting there was this
I
was no
agree.
order.
I
This was
agree
no
with
order.
all of that.
Okay. So now that we've eliminated teams with starting franchise quarterbacks, Tom Brady's not going to want to go to a team that has a terrible offensive line at age 42. He's dealing with it now. They can't run the football. They can't, I mean, he doesn't have time to throw more now
Sure.
than at any other point in his career. So he's going to want to go to a team with a good offensive line. So I looked at Pro Football Focus and I'm going to eliminate the top or the worst 10 the bottom 10 defensive lines in football. 3 of them are
Defensive or
including
offensive?
or sorry, offensive line. Sorry,
Okay, I was gonna
offensive.
say.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with this. Um, the bottom 10 offensive lines in football, and 3 of them are included in the teams with starting franchise quarterbacks. So there's only 7 here that I'm going to name.
All right.
That's the Miami Dolphins, Cincinnati
Yep.
Bengals,
Okay.
Carolina Panthers,
Mm-hmm.
Los Angeles Chargers, Washington Redskins, Minnesota Vikings, and New York Jets.
Now I would probably put the Vikings in that. I know Kirk Cousins isn't a franchise quarterback, but they already have him locked to a
That's
fully
that's a
guaranteed deal.
that's a
I
fair
just
point.
I don't see them going out. But I mean, yes, he also falls in the. They also
I'm
fall in the
not
terrible
saying
quarterback or terrible offensive line category. But
either way they were getting eliminated, but
yes,
I think of Kirk Cousins as like, yes, they're committed to him for at least 1 more year, but
yep,
I don't think they're committed to him for the long-term future. Is what was that's basically my point.
yes. So
Um,
the two teams I'm still thinking of are still in your realm of possibilities.
all
So
right. Another thing with Tom Brady is this lack of weaponry that's around him. He doesn't have tight ends to throw the ball to, or wide receivers, or strong running backs that are consistent. Which he's got a good group of running backs, but
he
they're
has
not
a.
always consistent. It's
I think
partly
Sony
because of the
Michelle is
offensive
pretty
line.
solid.
He is good. He's probably the best running back, but
Oh,
he hasn't
okay.
had consistent weapons around him.
I think you left out a team
In
in
the
your
battle
franchise
lines,
quarterback. In your
who's
franchise
that?
quarterback. I know he's having a rough year, but the Browns. I still think they're gonna keep Baker Mayfield
Well, they probably will,
because
but I'm not saying all these teams are interested. I'm just saying I'm just eliminating teams that wouldn't fit what Tom wants.
I know, but I'm just saying I think the Browns still have a future quarterback in Baker Mayfield.
Well, that's fair. I mean, well, it's okay. We'll
To each
iron this
their own.
out. We'll iron this out. So we're going to lack of weapons, and the teams with
Okay.
lack of weapons are obviously the Patriots, the Buffalo Bills,
Yeah.
the Tennessee Titans.
Ooh. I
They
don't
have
know.
Derrick Henry, but
They
who
have
else do they
Derrick
have?
Henry. AJ
The,
Brown has really stepped up this year. And they
he's a
have Corey
rookie though.
Davis, who is still pretty solid. AJ Brown's a rookie, exactly. So he's going to get even better. And look at what they're doing this year. They have a great defense. I know this has nothing to do with the offense, but I still think they have a solid group of weapons. And I know Delaney Walker's getting up there, but I mean, you draft the tight end. I know there's a couple of solid tight ends in this draft this year, I believe.
But
Of
Tom
course, I
Brady's
can't
not going
think
to
of
want
it.
to play with young rookies that are quote unquote good. He wants to play with established veterans.
I don't know. Go on, go on.
So I'm eliminating the Titans. I'm eliminating the Oakland Raiders, albeit they have Josh Jacobs and Darren Waller, but their wide receivers
I
not
know
top
Tyrell
tier.
Williams, Hunter
Yeah,
Renfro's not too bad, but yeah, I agree with that.
Denver Broncos and the Arizona Cardinals.
I don't think I think
So
Kyler's a
now
future
this is where
quarterback.
I'll pause and run through the teams that are left. Okay.
One of my teams is still left.
Teams that are left for me are the Chicago Bears, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Detroit Lions, the Indianapolis Colts, the Cleveland Browns, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the New York Giants.
Okay, so
But that's not where it stops.
Okay.
But do you have something that you want to add?
I was just gonna take out one of your teams right away,
Okay. So
and
no,
that was gonna
now
be okay. Go on.
now I'm going next to eliminating teams that have poor situations, whether it be coaching or organizationally. Okay.
Okay.
So right off the bat, Cleveland Browns.
Yep, for sure. I don't think
The,
he would fit very well there.
uh, Detroit Lions. They
Yep.
have they have poor management. Matt Patricia, I don't think, is a good coach, and they've just been so mediocre for so many years. I don't think Tom Brady is going to be the one to just all of a sudden change that.
Okay.
They do have good weapons, but I don't think that's enough. They're just mediocre. Then another poor situation, the New York Giants.
For
Uh,
sure.
Pat Shermer, not a good coach, and I just don't like that. And I don't like Dave Gettleman as GM either. I don't think he really knows what he's doing all that much. And then the final situation that I want to eliminate is the Jacksonville Jaguars because they're talking about firing Doug Marrone and they're contemplating removing
Coughlin just got
Tom
fired too.
Coughlin. Did he just get fired?
Yeah, he got fired a
Okay.
couple hours ago.
Oh, okay. I didn't know this, so that's news to
And
me.
I think that would never happen just due to the whole Gardner Minshew's not terrible, and they have the cap casualty in Nick Foles. I
That's
don't think they'd be able to trade him.
no fair point. That's fair.
But it's where Tom Brady would want to go. It's not if teams would take him because I'm sure
Right.
anybody would take him.
Yeah.
Being honest.
Given the ideal situation if they needed a quarterback.
Yeah.
So if you eliminate the Lions, the Browns, the Giants, and the Jags, I'm left with three teams: the Chicago Bears, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Indianapolis Colts. And this is tough because I mean,
One of my teams still remain.
all three of these teams, like the Bears and the Colts, have probably top 5 offensive lines.
Yeah, for sure.
The
Colts, very good offensive line.
they're probably top 3. Colts are if you're putting them like right there with the Cowboys and the Steelers.
Possibly the best guard in the league too.
Yes, the Buccaneers probably have the best weapons out of these ones.
Oh, Godwin, Mike
Chris
Evans, OJ
Godwin,
Howard,
OJ, Cameron Brate. Now their running backs, they don't have strong running, but they have a running back duo and Peyton Barber and Ronald Jones. It's not terrible, but it's not good either. But that's fine. I think Tom can work around that.
But the Colts have solid weapons too. They have Paris Campbell, who I believe is hurt now, but before he got hurt, he was very good. T.Y. Hilton's pretty solid. I know I couldn't tell you who their tight end is. Oh, it's Jack Doyle and Eric Ebron. And I think they would look pretty good with Tom Brady. I think he would utilize them very well.
So that leaves me with 3 teams, and I can't really eliminate these teams in any other way other than potentially like history and prestige and like just going to a storied franchise. And to me, that leaves just the Chicago Bears. So
yeah,
I'm sending Tom Brady to the Chicago Bears next year if he decides to leave New England. He's a cold weather quarterback. I think it works. And the Bears are talking about maybe getting rid of Trubisky. Kind of don't want him. Kind of want him.
I think they plan on picking up his 5th-year option. That's the only problem.
Tom Brady to the Chicago Bears next year. What say you?
I think it's going to be the Indianapolis Colts. Now, you could tell me, oh, it's Jacoby Brissett, blah, blah, blah. I think that they were, and this is, I'm looking on the side of the team need also, like if the team wants them. I think Tom Brady would be very welcoming into Indianapolis, and I think he would want to go there too. It's not too far from Tampa Bay, from New England. I don't know. Indoors. So I think that has a lot to do with have a lot to do with his decision also.
I think playing indoors might benefit him with his old age.
The coaching is legendary. I wouldn't say legendary there, actually. I mean, they had, Chuck Pagano, Tony Dungy. It's not too bad.
Chuck Pagano is not a good coach.
Who's their coach?
Frank Reich is their coach now.
Frank Reich, okay.
Coordinator from the Eagles.
They have a good front office, I do believe.
They have a great front office.
Now, before Andrew Luck retired, they were playoff bound, potentially Super Bowl bound, and then that just up and happened, and the Colts they didn't know what to do. They go from being a playoff team, potentially Super Bowl team, to another mediocre 500 season team. So They figured out Jacoby Brissett can't get the job done. He'll be there, go 8-8, 7-9, 9-7, maybe make the playoffs. They're gonna look at Tom Brady and be like, "This is the guy we need to get over the hump." They already have very young, very solid defense, great offensive line, good weapons, solid running back tandem with Marlon Mack and Naheem Hines, and all they need is a quarterback. And I think Tom Brady fits that mold perfectly. But like you said with the Bears, they have decent weapons. They're not the best, not the worst. Great offensive line, great defense also, and historic franchise.
It's interesting, man. Now, at the end of the day, if I can talk, I don't think Tom Brady's going to leave. I just don't
I
see
don't believe
Kraft.
Bill
I
either.
don't see. It would just be weird to me to see Tom Brady in another uniform next year. And I don't know, but I feel like the Bears they're wrestling with Trubisky, and I feel like if you send Tom Brady there, he knows how to play in cold weather in the wintertime, so he wouldn't struggle with that by any means. I think Tom Brady to the Bears makes a lot of sense given how strong their offensive line is. They've got a solid running game. And I mean, and he's got David Montgomery, who would be the lead back, and then you have Tariq Cohen, who's your receiving back, just like your James White, and then you have a great defense, Khalil Mack on the edge. That's probably a top 5 defense in the NFL. I mean, what more could you want?
I could definitely see the Bears also. Both of those teams for sure. I don't really see him going to Tampa Bay. Just
I don't see
they
it
had a
either,
really
but
good
wouldn't that be
season this
fun?
year.
Wouldn't that be fun though?
That would be fun. Those weapons with him. Now their defense, I still think needs a little bit of work, but he's not going to go to that division at all because look, he's going to have to get through the Saints. The Panthers, you never know how they're going to be, and same with the Falcons. Falcons, like they still have Matt Ryan, Julio Jones. You can never count those two out. Their
Well,
defense
the
had a rough
Falcons
year,
are
but they've
four
been
and
playing
two the
pretty
last
well
6
as of
weeks.
late. Yeah, as I say, they've been playing pretty well as of late. I don't think he's going to want to go there just because of the division. Now, the same with the Bears. You have to get through the Packers. That's the
And the
big problem.
Vikings. The Vikings are.
But
I mean, the
now let's go to
Vikings
the
have been
AFC
good.
South. Let's go to the AFC South. Jaguars, Titans, and Texans. The Texans is the hardest of the bunch, and that's still very possible to beat them. So I think division wise, it would be basically another AFC East.
Listen, I'm kind of with you on the Titans a little bit because I wouldn't rule out the Titans simply because Mike Vrabel is their coach, and Tom Brady has a relationship with Vrabel because he used to be on the Patriots staff.
I could see that too. Like I
So
said, very good offensive line, young upcoming defense. I think everyone has a very solid defense coming up, to be honest, in that division. But decent weapons, not the greatest of weapons. They have Derrick Henry. I think they still have
it's
Dion Lewis.
yeah, they do. It's a young, and he's familiar with Dion Lewis. That's another
Mm-hmm.
part I didn't think about. But just the weapons on the outside there are a little too young I
Yeah,
think for
that's the
Tom's
only
liking.
problem. But like,
But
you
I
could always
mean,
bring in veterans. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's
you could, and I think people would flock to Tom Brady
for
in
sure. Everyone would
Tennessee
take the
or
discount to get
wherever
to play with
wherever he
Brady.
goes. There's there's so much to unpack. Now I've seen theories where the Cowboys don't re-sign Dak Prescott after the year.
Now,
They fire Jason Garrett, and then they bring in Tom Brady, and Josh McDaniels comes with him to Dallas.
would you be open to that?
No, I wouldn't.
Oh, really?
A,
Now,
A.
if that means you get to fire Jason Garrett too, though.
Yeah, but Josh McDaniels, I don't think is better. If I'm being straight up honest with you, I don't think McDaniels is a better coach than Jason Garrett
Mm,
because Josh McDaniels has proven he's not. He's coached before.
yeah, that's true.
He failed in Denver, and I mean, granted, he didn't have an amazing team around him to coach, but failed in Denver, and he gets cold feet whenever he wants to go anywhere else. Now, if
Yeah,
Tom's
really.
going
Look
with
at
him, if
Indianapolis.
if Tom's going with him, it may incentivize him more to go and coach the Cowboys. But I just don't think it would be the right thing to do when you have a 25, 26-year-old starting quarterback who is getting better each and every year. statistically, he's leading your team. He can put together drives in the fourth quarter and win. This year, maybe not the same story just because they fall behind too much early. Not
Mm-hmm.
not at the fault of him, of Prescott, but at the fault of just the whole team. But regardless, I just don't think it's smart to bring in a 42-year-old quarterback when you have a budding star in the palm of your hands. All you got to do is pay, because either way, you're paying Dak Prescott $30 million,
Or you're
who's
paying Tom.
younger, and you can get 12 years out of him, 12 more years out of him, or you can pay Tom Brady $30 million for one season, and then you're back to the drawing board whenever he retires.